सकते थे, वही कोई तरीका अपना सकते थे?
ये होता है, ये मेंटली यू हैव टू बी ऐसे स्टेट ऑफ माइंड में कि कभी कभी आपको पता है कि बॉलर टेस्ट करेंगे आपको। जैसा इंग्लैंड में कवर ड्राइव मारना शुरू में इतना आसान नहीं है। बड़े बड़े प्लेयर्स में सालों से देखा है यहाँ पे, जो दिमाग में ऐसा डालता है कि हम नहीं खेलेंगे ये शॉट। अगर हमको खेलना है मिड ऑफ की तरफ खेलेंगे या डाउन द ग्राउंड खेलेंगे या एकदम ऊपर डाला तो स्क्वायर ड्राइव खेलेंगे हम, लेकिन वो कवर ड्राइव जो है उससे दूर रहेंगे नहीं। जब तक ऐसा लगा कि बिल्कुल मूवमेंट नहीं है, धूप निकला हुआ है, इंडिया जैसा सरफेस है, फिर आप चांस लेंगे। मैं बोल रहा हूँ बहुत प्लेयर्स देखा हूं मैं। मेरे जमाने से दिलीप वेंगसरकर था जो 300 किया लॉर्ड्स पे, राहुल द्रविड़ काफी बार, सचिन तेंदुलकर जैसा मैंने कहा ऑस्ट्रेलिया में। तो ये एडजस्टमेंट मेंटली होता है, मतलब यू हैव टू बी स्टबर्न कि मुझे डालने वाला है यहाँ पे, लेकिन मैं भी छोड़ते रहूंगा।
190 पे 5।
Centre court. 7th Wimbledon title.
पीछे वाली लेन से नहीं, पीछे थी नहीं, इसीलिए श्रीकर भारत थोड़ा फ्रंट फुट पे आए थे। कांटा बदल के बाहर की तरफ भी गई गेंद। ऑस्ट्रेलिया पूरी तरीके से ऑन टॉप इस मुकाबले में।
बहुत अच्छा चैनल चलाया है ये। रवि भाई जो बात कर रहे थे कि वो ईगो थोड़ी सी बल्लेबाज को या फिर गेंदबाज को साइड रखनी पड़ती है टेस्ट क्रिकेट जब उसकी बात होती है कि मैं आउट कर सकता हूँ। भाई आप आउट कर सकते हो या फिर आप रन बना सकते हो, पर वो पहला आधा पौना घंटा बॉलर को देना ही पड़ता है, कैसी भी कंडीशन हो, चाहे भारत में खेल रहे हो, चाहे आप कैरेबियन में खेल रहे हो। और स्पेशली ये कंडीशन में कितनी भी पाटा पिच हो, तो कितना भी पुराना बॉल, पहला आधा घंटा बॉलर के नाम। यही तो हमें पुराने समय से ये चीजें जो है वो सीखने को मिल रही थी कि पहला आधा घंटा बॉलर का, और उसके बाद सेट हो जाओ, रन बनाओ। और वो मौका गवा दिया है आज। और रवि भाई आप बात कर रहे थे कि विराट का जो स्टांस है वो कितना ओपन हो रखा है, और जिसके चलते वो बॉल से ऑब्वियसली कई बॉल जो है वो दूर रह जाएंगे, और वही हुआ, बॉल से काफी दूर रह गए।
और ओवर कंडीशंस देखना, ओवर खास है। आज धूप नहीं निकला, तो आप देखेंगे अभी इसका जो आगे का पैर है वो देखना कहां पे, आउटसाइड द लेग स्टंप पे। अभी वो पैर को जाना पड़ता है काफी डिस्टेंस अगर कवर ड्राइव मारना है। तो इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर आप फ्रैक्शन भी लेट हो गए तो एज लगेगा, क्योंकि जो डिस्टेंस कवर करना पड़ता है वो फ्रंट फुट को, वो काफी डिस्टेंस है। आप देखो फ्रंट फुट जिधर है, बैक फुट किधर है। अब यहां से अगर ये एरिया में मारना है, पैर नहीं जा सकता, बैठ जाएगा, तो लेट हो जाता है। तो ये इंग्लैंड में यही है, अगर ओवरकास्ट हुआ कंडीशंस, आप थोड़ा लेट हो गए, बस एज लग सकता है।
तो भाई आपने बड़ी अच्छी बात बोली कि वो पैर दूर रह गया, क्योंकि हर बार तो आपका बैलेंस वैसा नहीं रहेगा। अगर बॉल दूर होगा तो आप देखेंगे इस शॉट पे, जब वो शॉट खेल दिया था तो पैर पंजे पे अभी तक चढ़े नहीं थे, वो बैलेंस बना नहीं था, तो बैलेंस अभी दूर ही था उनका। चौका यहाँ भरत के बल्ले से, अच्छा शॉट था, गेंदबाजी अच्छी हो रही। क्योंकि हम विराट की बात कर रहे हैं इस मैच के बारे में, अगर शुरुआती आज मॉर्निंग में सुबह में बात हो रही थी कि विराट कितने इंपॉर्टेंट होंगे, इसलिए हम ज्यादा तवज्जो वहां पे दे रहे हैं कि कैसे आउट हुए वो। ये अच्छा शॉट था, बहुत अच्छा स्क्वायर ड्राइव। ये देखिए पैर बिल्कुल बॉल के पास था। रवि भाई आपसे फिर मैं दोबारा पूछूंगा कि वही कि एडी पे थे जब वो बॉल खेला तो पंजे पे चढ़े नहीं थे, तो वही कारण है जो आप कह रहे हैं कि बॉल के पास नहीं पहुंचे।
बिल्कुल, क्योंकि वो जो ट्रांसफर ऑफ वेट जो बात कर रहे हैं आप, उसको समय ज्यादा लगता है। और आप जो कहा ठीक था, यहाँ पे थोड़ा 45 मिनट्स दे दो बॉलर को, उसके बाद अगर धूप निकलेगा, आटा हो जाएगा ये सरफेस, फिर मारो दिन से 195 for 5।
ये पहले घंटे में 2 विकेट जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया को चाहिए थी, जिन्होंने ठेस पहुंचाई है भारत को। 249 पीछे रहाणे और भारत लड़ते हुए समिट ड्रिंक्स का।
मरने वाली कोई फिल्म स्टार या नेता की बेटी नहीं है।
अगर ऐसी बात है तो दबाव कम पड़ेगा ऊपर से।
कोई शिजू है पाराइल हाउस निंडकरा का, जानते हैं?
लेकिन उस शरद के अलावा किसी ने भी शिजू को नहीं देखा।
मनोज, ये आदमी वैसा नहीं है जैसा हम सोच रहे थे। ये केस इतनी आसानी से खत्म नहीं होगा।
इतने साल हो गए तुम्हारे शादी को, कभी 2 मीठे बोल प्यार के, कभी बाहर घुमाने ले गया?
जिसे मुझसे प्यार ही नहीं, उसे प्यार करने का दर्द। आप नहीं समझोगे बाबा।
विकेट निकाले, गेंदबाज को थोड़ा सा थकाए। ये देखिए 16 ओवर इस पारी में और 3 विकेटें ले गए हैं, महत्वपूर्ण विकेट। कल शुभमन गिल का, आज विराट कोहली, रविंद्र जडेजा का छोटा सा करियर रहा है उनका अभी भी ऑस्ट्रेलिया के लिए, लेकिन इफेक्ट जो है बहुत रहा है इस टीम के ऊपर।
चाबुक शॉट आसानी से मारते हैं ये, और इसका ये जो इतने लेट खेलते हैं अजिंक्य रहाणे, बॉल को आने देते हैं बैट के ऊपर, ये बॉल के पास नहीं जाते, ये बॉल को आने देते हैं, इसलिए वो सक्सेसफुल है ये कंट्री में, और 200 हो गया स्कोर।
सबसे बेहतरीन चीज दीप और रवि आप देखेंगे कि ये मिड ऑफ की तरफ खेला, बेशक एंगल अलग है, मैं समझता हूँ बाएं हाथ के गेंदबाज ओवर द विकेट अंदर की तरफ एंगल थोड़ा अलग होता है, और यही फर्क आप देखेंगे विराट की कवर ड्राइव पे और इसकी ऑफ ड्राइव पे। और ये कहा जाता है कि इन कंडीशंस में जब आप कवर ड्राइव मारते हैं तो शायद थोड़ा सीधा खेलना भी जरूरी होगा। हम आपको लेके आएंगे ये विराट का डिसमिसल, और उसके बाद ये अजिंक्य रहाणे का जो चौका उन्होंने मारा है, आप देखेंगे अलग एंगल से, अलग दिशा में खेलने की कोशिश की है दोनों ने।
मिचेल स्टार्क की भी ये परीक्षा है, खासा लय में दिखे नहीं है, काफी रन भी दिए हैं। 2 से 1 पे 5।
कुर्सी पर चाहे जितनी भी नजर मार लो, बाजी तो एक गायकवाड़ ही मारेगा।
सीधा फील्डर के पास,
देखिए हम आपको 2 चीज दिखा रहे हैं, ये एक विराट कोहली का डिसमिसल और एक अजिंक्य रहाणे का बाउंड्री। बेशक है दोनों गेंदबाजों का एंगल अलग है, मिचेल स्टार्क बाएं हाथ के गेंदबाज है, स्कॉट पोलैंड दाहिने हाथ के, पर देखिए कितने दूर खेले हैं विराट कोहली, कवर की तरफ खेलना चाहते थे, और रहाणे का देखिए बैट और बिल्कुल सर के नीचे और मिड ऑफ की तरफ खेलना चाहते थे। और अगर आप इंग्लैंड में आते हैं, ये कहा जाता है कि वो लंबा कवर ड्राइव ना किया करे, जितना भी पुराना बॉल हो, तो 40 ओवर हो, 50 ओवर हो।
आप सौरभ वो देख रहे थे वो कितना दूर था, आप ये स्टंप्स निकालेंगे और 3 स्टंप डालेंगे, उसके बाद भी ऑफ स्टंप के बाहर था।
बिल्कुल, और जब वो खड़े रहते हैं अपनी स्टांस पर,
अच्छा छोड़ा इस गेंद को।
अब अगर विराट कोहली का स्टांस भी देखेंगे, इन कंडीशंस में कहा जाता है कि आप साइड ऑन रहें। विराट कोहली का फ्रंट फुट देखिए स्टांस के समय, ये देखिए लेग स्टंप के बाहर हैं, प्रॉबेबली और 2 स्टंप लगाएंगे तो उनका सामने का पैर है टो, और जब ऑफ स्टंप की बाहर गेंद गिनती है, जैसे रवि ने कहा कि 6वें स्टंप, 3 स्टंप और एक स्टंप के बाहर, तो वो टांग को उतना दूर ले
दे दी थी। इंग्लैंड में ही वो मुकाबला खेला गया था लॉर्ड्स में, और ओवल में ये मुकाबला खेला।
Whether you're starting a business or have a brilliant idea,
Waiting. Yep. Wait! Yep. Right there.
game? Are they looking to preserve wickets? What are they going to do before lunch?
Ross, do you want to take that one first?
Well, lunch is not so far away, so maybe there's let's try and survive to lunch and then think about it. But, I mean, for the rest of the day, unless they think there's rain coming in, and even then, what's the point?
As line comes in there and Yadav has a slap at that, but it's fielded by Cummins himself. 1 run off the over so far. What about you, Tony? How do you think they'll play?
So I was going to finish. What they may as well do for the rest of the day is just slog and hope for the best, because if they keep going the way they're going, they're definitely going to lose, right?
Well, line comes in, there's an indiscriminate attempt at some sort of shot for Yadav. He gets an edge from it, and of course they're not going to get a boundary for it. It was a good shot. As we see the Indian fans still celebrating, maybe triumph against adversity could be on the cards. That 0.5% chance of being on to it as much as they can.
I think it's interesting because you've got 2:25 to go. You've only got 3 wickets left. What's your best route? Is it to just try and keep grinding, and just hope that you can somehow get a draw, or is it to try and attack that 2:25 in the best way possible?
Wait there!
As line pitches a little short, Barrett gets it out.
So if
he's fielded easily.
If you're happy that you want to go for the draw, and I mean that's a long stretch given the tail coming. Then and Umi with the best intent in the world is no superstar.
The end of the over to you, Tony.
Yes, sorry, Motley. Well, I didn't vote for him, but I don't quite know who the conversation was about, although I suspect it will be 1 or 2 people, most likely, given the news at the moment. Messenger says 8.5 hours a day this test. Brian, it's a tough job, but someone has to do it. Oh, I think that's Brian's aspiration to retire and basically do what Messi does and commentate with us all the time. Colin Sousa, is Yadav taking his guard on another pitch? Fair question, Colin. Terry Fuckwit. Hello, Terry Fuckwit. It's been a while. It's a name I remember from the past, not just from this, but I remember you being a follower of ours. That was one of the most terrifying things about facing Tomo. The batsman knew that he didn't know where the ball was going himself. Had this slingshot action, didn't he, across Tomo? It was like a weird action, but scary as hell.
Very much. And Australia's had a succession of left arms. Mitchell Johnson and then Stark, who are similar, quite slingy and across right arm and tank as well. Quick.
Stark comes in again, zeroing in on Stones. And I suppose also with Tomo was one of those cricketers, maybe a bit like Johnson and Brett Lee, where the fear factor starts as soon as they start running. They have intimidating runs as well, don't they? The way they hurtle into the crease.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Lee was so athletic. You just you knew it was going to be quick. They all averaged about 30 though, so it didn't necessarily make very effective.
But what were their Ashes stats?
There we go. Stark, a man who can be expensive himself, comes in wide of the wicket again. Now this one is short. It's evaded by Yadav, but Carey claims, is he trying to claim a catch? Has it hit the bat? It looks like it might have done. That was a snorter of a bouncer there for Stark. I mean, he'd been setting him up so much by zeroing in on those stumps, and then I think he surprised him with the bouncer there. Gents, did you see? Did that hit the handle of the bat? Oh, I think we're about to see it here. He's half tracking down the pitch. Was that a waft off the face?
Must have been just it grazed the face as it went through, I think. What did you see? That's the way I saw it, right?
Yeah, it was a hell of a catch, because if he got anything on it, it would have flown over the top of Carey, but I think he's just clipped the top of the shoulder to the glove.
Yeah, just glove, but yeah, as Ross was saying there, Carey threw himself upwards. It really was a fingertip take. Made it very easy, but yeah, Yadav is the latest in possession.
First of all, it's going to be one of these. Top edge. For fuck's sake. Oh no, he's out. Excellent. Top edge. For fuck's sake. Oh no, he's out. Excellent. Top edge. For fuck's sake. Oh no, he's out. Excellent. The Bear remix wasn't really a top edge. It was a face that it grazed on the way through, we think.
It's always worth playing that jingle though.
Yeah. It also means that I suspect, well, I'm pretty sure now, lunch will be delayed, assuming there are no wickets before, but 8 down, we can expect to continue that into I'll think about that as we go. This isn't something I haven't accounted for. I suppose it was always going to happen at some point.
Yeah, this is the godlike existence of Tony Bishop, moving us around like pawns on the chessboard.
As flies to wanton boys.
Right, so Shami is in now. Shami and the jingle that accompanies him.
I was so excited with my Shakespearean reference, I forgot to totally jingles up. I'm going to have to do it at the end of the next book.
Well, that's okay. That's the trouble with Shakespeare. He does tend to get in the way of lots of things. Stark chuckling to himself now. 2 for 63. Gets ready for Shami. Hiding the ball at the start there, but now comes in number 56. Wide of the crease again. In on the stumps, just patted away by Shami there.
Here he is.
This is the thing with this tack, isn't it? Is that balance of the different bits of offering, and even though Hazelwood's not here, Bolandton's ready-made for England, doesn't he? They are formidable.
It was a terrific catch by Carey, by the way. Let's give him all due credit. He did really well there. Here's Mohammed Shami.
He's coming down fast and moving it too. Tell me, I'm sitting here full of buddies up and injured. Look out, Mohammed Shami.
Well, what about that?
Well, whilst he was being jingled, he proved that he was worthy of a mighty jingle by uppercutting it for one of these.
4 on the floor, and one more 4 than the 4 before. That's what 4's are for, to get funky on the dance floor.
I think we were firmly, aren't we, in doesn't really matter territory when it comes for Australian bowlers here.
That was a lovely shot, though. I mean, that was this was a one-day international. You'd be applauding the audacity of that as he ramped it over. So fantastic shot.
He gave him a bit of width and he just lifted over.
This one, that's down the leg side, and Carey dives like Edison, saving it there. Yes, I wonder slightly cynically if that shot was very much in the we've lost the match, we can just do anything camp. It kind of like the freeing of responsibility that happens there. Bit of beauty there.
No, it has been, particularly compared to his counterpart, Barrett, who really struggled a bit.
He has, and runs, I think, will also help his concept. I mean, I hate to mention the A-word, but the start comes in. Again, it's in on the stumps this time. So a flashy drive, and it was heading to the same place that his uppercut did, but unfortunately for him this time, it wasn't a ball. As the over ends, it's 2-2-4 for 8 and over to Tony in the Twitter box.
Absolutely. I might just point out, by the way, if Al and Nanindo are listening, KS Barat is still there. Still there, boys, while others have fallen. Mog says, given the inability to win jack shit, can we take the choker label off South Africa and give it to India? Oh, that's harsh. Terry Fuckwit says, what should India do? How about just declare? Motley says, it was a Monty Python reference towards the king, but I now don't remember what was. Let's have a look, see if YouTube has got anything more going. No, there's still plenty of general chit-chat, but nothing new particularly.
And how do we feel that this is setting the Aussies up for the Ashes?
I think they'll be very pleased for the workout.
Yeah,
and obviously have the confidence that things are going pretty well.
The king of spin is in there on the spot as always. 89 kilometers per hour. We see in the crowd an ultra optimistic t-shirt being brandished saying nothing is impossible. I think I might have discovered one thing that is impossible, but don't tell that to an Indian fan. Line gets ready again, muscles his way as a spinner in. There's a flashy drive and there's a stumping attempt there. The umpire is predictably sending it to the TV umpire. What do we think? That looked like he was okay?
The Australians don't seem to think it's out. Carey's kind of giving a kind of a shrug of the shoulders. My guess is he didn't think he had him.
I think he did.
You think he did?
No, I think he did keep his foot down.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. I thought you meant that. Yeah.
And I think therefore he's safe.
Yes, it feels like the Australians are pandering to Carey a little bit there, like an elderly relative at a Sunday dinner. He did dance.
He did move. He
did,
but
he moved. I think he got it back.
It's KS after all. He's not going to make a basic mistake like that.
He's no Pat Cummins when it comes to a line, that's for sure.
No, that's true.
Oh, now the foot is firmly out when Carey takes it.
Yeah,
but he comes back in stages and he actually gets in, and by the end of it, it was like his toe was gorilla grip to behind the crease.
Carey was. Do you think he was a tad slow, having just lauded his performance this test? Was he a little bit slow off the mark there, Russ?
Pulled it back a fair way before he took the bails off. I think the Barrett knew that he was beaten and started to drag his foot back before quite quickly.
Line comes in again, Barrett more secure this time. But I suppose the thought is now in his head, at the very least, that don't you go wandering down the crease. Yeah, maybe I can never work out if Carey was quite slow or if we were watching the slow motion something quite slow. Difficult to know as this line comes in again, outside the off a little bit more, can beat the edge there. Barrett looking a little bit more convincing, but although as soon as I say that, I see him asking the umpire how many balls are left in the over, which is never a particularly good sign at this stage.
There actually seems to be like not right up against the stumps too with his stance. He seems to have given himself. I wonder if it's to give himself more time, or.
Oh, he takes a swipe out of that, and that is right up into the sky and down the lion's neck, which is always a dangerous place to be. Barrett, who was starting to look a little unconvincing, has just proved that to be the case, and he goes for 23. India now are 2-2-4 for 9. It was coming, wasn't it, Ross?
I believe so, yes.
After you've gone.
Oh, well, KS, what have you done, lad? And with that, India's hopes are gone.
Yes, you. Yeah.
That would have been the greatest innings of all time.
I know.
Talking about him, Brian Lara terms.
I love that relentless optimism, though, Tony. That is exactly how we should be thinking. Anything happening on Twitter? Is any kind of death rights being read out there?
Well, just so people, our own folks are aware, Hendo, Messers, and Indo stand ready for the 12:30 slot if the next wicket doesn't fall in the next 5 minutes. I'm trying to go with risk of making it sound like a joke. An Englishman and an Australian and an Indian.
It is, and also
to see us home.
An Englishman wearing sunglasses inside, which I really heartily admire.
Definitely Andy Warhol. It's the Andy Warhol look for me.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. I was when I switched it on, I was thinking Dr. Strangelove, but I think Andy Warhol maybe is more flattering.
Who's going to be our last man? It's Mohammed Siraj, isn't he? Here he is.
There's only one man who can save us now, with Mohammed Siraj.
I hope the jingle has ended. Slightly can't hear it, but in comes line to Siraj to face his first ball. A beautiful backward defensive shot there that completes the over. 2-2-4 for 9. Wicket taking over there for Lyon this time, taking out Barrett Holmes, unfortunately. Have we got anything on social?
Oh, we certainly do. Mayank says, could Shami slash his way to victory? Wow. Wow, well, I think that's possibly a long shot. As long as none of his shots lead to a catch, he should win the game for India in about 30 to 35 overs. Woody's still there. Warren, thanks peeps. See you at the first Ashes test. Oh, Warren's already called it and gone.
Wow.
He has no faith in this last pair to... I think he saw KS Barat go and he thought, well, that's it then. Mog, I will note that I was on the Australian bandwagon since before the first ball. Mick Black says, very slim pool to choose from, but I don't know what it was referring to. Oh, we're going back to yesterday and the 4 greatest bowlers that the crowd had to choose when it was McGrath, Cummins, Kapil Dev and Mohammad Shami, quick bowlers. But then we realised it was Australia and India, and carefully constructed to be more modern generation. But yes,
There's quite a few filters
wasn't a great
on that.
one. Yes.
On that boat, as Stark comes in again, seeking to finish it, but that is a rather gorgeous back foot driver down the ground by Shami for one of these.
It's a super shot that. I like that, Mohammad Shami. He is going to give it a go.
He's got to kitchen sink it now, hasn't he, Ross? This is purely about get some entertainment into the Indian veins.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was one of those ones where he kind of was exactly where he wanted it, if that was the shot he wanted to play. So he managed to swing through the line. See, Stark gives him a very slightly different thing to look at this time.
Stark comes in again. Boost attempts to bounce him with his 2 leg side, and it's swept for another of these one day mark.
Certainly is. Never mind.
You're an optimist, as we just found out before.
Well, there's 2 on the jingle cart. 1, 2, 3, 4 Craftwork, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Craftwork, and they're right next to each other.
Right there.
So when you're sort of multitasking a bit, it's very easy to actually click one rather than t'other.
Damn those Germans and their counting.
It's also misfiled because it's in the 4 one, so one of them should be in the 6 one.
Stark attempting to end it. The Western Gambler is swept now. He's
got it.
claiming a catch there, and it is given. Carey again diving around like Tom Daly today. It was down the leg side, maybe not the greatest ball, but it's caught. It's being reviewed, I presume, at the moment.
He's not going to go and knit a jumper, is he? As soon as the game's finished. Isn't that Tom Daly who does a lot of knitting?
He does a lot of knitting. Maybe he could too. I mean, that could be a good relaxing activity for the fingers if you've been wicket keeping all day. Or maybe ultra exhausting. Yeah, he pulled it down the leg side of it, half tracker.
Is there enough glove on that? It's hard to say, you know. What do you make of it, Ross?
I think there seems to be a slight change in the spin of the ball, so I think he's just touched it. We can look at the edge now. Might be proven wrong in a second.
That's the all eyes on the
I don't know if
It's hard back.
Yeah, so you're right, there was a spin of the ball, but it came from a thigh pad, and Carey may have caught it, but it gives the death signal. Yeah, that's not out. Reversing the decision. And the Indian fans loving it. Going all in on that reprieve that could turn the match for them. Dancing in the stands.
Well, Hendo, I'll just stay here and press buttons if you will take over at the end of this over.
If needed.
And where Russ, if an Indo doesn't appear, can you just stand ready to join the triumphal Aussie choir?
This is great. It feels like there's some tension now. Will we make it to the end of the over or not? As Stark pounds his way into the crease again, on the leg side again, but not as sure. It's patted out by a single by the rampant Shami, who has 12-7. Now Siraj, what can he bring to the game? As we see Steve Smith pointing around as those that DIY will getting a sandpaper order in. As Siraj takes guard. What do you think, Ross? Do you think he can make the next 2 deliveries? Are we expecting to finish it all together, or will we be moving on?
I think the odds are probably in favour of him lasting 2 deliveries. It's interesting Australia hasn't just started crowding the bat or anything, just standard fields.
Yeah, it feels like today they've sort of just gone through the gears. Haven't needed to do maybe anything beyond their brilliant average best. As Stark comes in again. Oh, this time out it's Yorker length, but on the offside, swings at it, Siraj, expansive drive, but misses it. Carey gives a chuckling smile to himself. Maybe
really wanted to go home, Siraj. He was nowhere near that. The ball was nowhere near the stumps.
He's got his lunch order in.
That wasn't quite Ollie Robinson at wherever it was.
Yes.
When he stepped back, he was practically in the pavilion as he waggled the bat from about 3 feet outside of leg.
We see lots of Australians who are clearly just wanting to get off the field now. Travis Head beneath his Ted Lasso moustache, gurning. Stark comes in for the final ball of the over. It's more down the leg and it's nicely tucked away there by Siraj. Obviously wants to keep the strike. It's the end of the over. We're going to make a change. It's 2, 3, 4 for 9. Siraj on 1 and Shami matching it around 13 off 8 delivery.
Last call for an Indo. Are you man enough? Come on, an Indo. Where are you?
Where are you? Show your face.
Triumph and adversity and treat both just the same. You're invited. If not, it's going to be Russ and Messers for a pure Aussie take us home.
Oh, well, I suppose that's kind of appropriate, isn't it? I mean, they've really dominated this game. Siraj has a single, Shami has 13, entertaining 13, but it's taken only India to only 234 for 9. They've only added 70 runs today. The GPL, the lowest GPL score was 90, so I don't think we're going to have a winner unless we get some more interesting and inventive strokes played by these two. Nathan Lyon starts, bowls to Mohammad Siraj, who suggests that he wants to be out there for a long time as he presses forward in perfect forward defensive mode and plays out on the offside. There is no run, and Lyon, as we said, he's sneaked in there and he's picked up a 3-for. He might even get a 4-for. 3 for 41 at the moment. He's into his 16th over. 2 slips, forward short leg, he's in, bowls to Siraj, and again perfect forward defensive. Siraj is just playing, I think, at the moment, and any moment now there is going to be an enormous slog which will might land in some grateful hands and give the mace to the Aussies. Ryan turns again, skips in, bowls. There it is, the reverse sweep. It's a cracking reverse sweep. It's gone straight into the hands of the man at backward point in the air. There was something coming from Siraj. It wasn't quite as dynamic as we expected. It was slightly unorthodox, and he has been caught, and Australia have won the World Test Championship. They become the second team to hold that title. It's nipped across the Tasman Sea from New Zealand, and